My mountain bike is needing some maintenance. The other day, as you guys probably saw, I broke my chain trying to do some wheelies. So what I need to do is replace the chain, but first I need to clean this. As you guys can probably see, this thing is just filthy. A few things that I really like to use whenever I wash my bike. For one, this little brush, it gets in between the teeth in your cassette. It's really handy for getting down in there and getting any gunk that's stuck down in there. Next thing, I just use Dawn soap. I don't know if it's the best, and whatever I can find. This happens to be an old coffee can. It'll hold the soap in the water. You don't need much, but I really like to use a dish rag. This lets you get right on the frame, and it allows you to do a little bit more detailed work than with just a brush would. So these are my favorite things to clean my bike with. Cleaner. Man, did it need to be cleaned. The only thing that makes me sad, every time I clean my bike, I start to notice a few more areas that have chips and dings and all that stuff in it. But I guess that's just part of using the bike. I will clean my egg beaters that I have, but as you guys know, I've got these little cheapo pedals on there right now so I can practice my wheeling and manualing. But when I hit the trail, I always like to clip in, just not used to flats. It's kind of my little safe way of staying on the bike. Man, look how much cleaner this looks, especially the fork. Man, it's so much better than what it was. Okay, so what you want to do whenever you've got your chain on here is you're going to thread it through your front derailleur, and I usually put it on my small gear up front, and then you're going to take this part of the chain and usually typically put it on a middle gear. I don't know if that's the best gear or not, but it always seems to work for me. Make sure your clutch is off if you have a derailleur that has a clutch on it. So you'll just drop this down in here, and there is a little spot that you can get it through where the derailleur attaches, but you're going to come out in front of the little gear that's on your derailleur, the top one, and you're going to wrap it, or act like you're going to wrap it all the way around, because you want to get it past this metal piece back here. You don't want it in front of that metal piece. If it's in front of that metal piece, it just rubs on there, and that's not the way that it's supposed to go. And then down here on the bottom of the cage, you've got a little closed area so the chain can't come off of it. You just simply drop that down in there, and while you're doing this, be very, very aware that your front chain doesn't have much on it, so it could easily come off this front gear. So at this point, you're going to want to grab your little speed links and put them on the open ends of each part of the chain. Try to give yourself a little bit of slack here. Looks like I got quite a bit built up in there. But again, be careful, because these chains, if you don't watch them, they will slip off of either the front or the back. So what you'll do is you can pull that derailleur down a little bit. You can just try to slip these in the holes that are closest to each other. That's the opening of it. And then try to pull it just a little bit to get it kind of tight. If you can't get it 100% pulled together, like right here, it's not 100% together, there's a real simple trick. So you can hold your tire and your wheel in place, and you can give it a good pop like that. Sometimes it takes a little bit of wiggling, but just make sure that the peg is all the way, the pin is all the way as close as it can get to the edge of this, and then same for the back. And then once you do that, you should be able to just turn it around and make sure your chain's on there good. But there you go, that's the a new chain, and with a speed link. Or two tools that you're definitely going to want to have inside your toolbox whenever it comes to replacing your chain. Without a speed link, you just need a chain tool remover. This will allow you to take out any links, and then if you are going to use a pin, this will allow you to push the pin back in. But if you're going to be using a speed link or a power link, you can use one of these tools to remove it, and then just the trick I showed you to put it on. So definitely two tools that you want to have in your toolbox whenever you're replacing a chain. You can get these really cheap on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below where you guys can get these.